All right, welcome everybody. I'm Gear Fisher, CEO, co-founder of Onform, and it's great to have you joining the webinar today. We are going to cover some what's new functionality with Onform. If you were lucky enough to go to the PGA show, this will be a little bit of a repeat, but we're going to feature some things that we've been working hard on over the last few months. And it's kind of a special day, in fact, because I'm actually doing this webinar live from a remote location secretly, okay, not so secret. I'm in beautiful Palm Springs at the Vintage Club, a great customer, and we're going to be showing a little bit later our brand new multicam Max system, which uses fixed cameras in a studio. So first, I'd like to cover off. If you do have questions, feel free to use the Q&A. There's some other members of our team joining me here today, and they will be answering questions in the Q&A. But meanwhile, let's actually just continue on and let's go ahead and dive into the webinar. So, what is new in 2026? Well, we've got a host of things. So, to cover today, we are going to talk about some new things like club tracking. That's been asked 100 times, where we show the club through the full path on the face-on swing. We're going to talk about kinematic sequence graphs, which show the timing of the swing. I'm going to show that here in a little bit. We have 3D reference ranges that are coming soon that will give you some color-coded reference ranges to Pro Tour players, male and female, all of which, of course, you can turn on and off at your control. We're also going to be showing something that's really cool. We have started in on API integration with a couple calendar providers. So if you recall, about 6 months ago, you may not have recalled, but about 6 months ago, we did a business of coaching survey and asked what everybody's using. And it turns out there's over 40 different calendaring apps out there that are being used from Calendly, Acuity, Google, PGA Coach, you name it. And we decided the best way to go about our approach is to just make it easier for you to see your calendar in Onform. So using APIs, in other words, back-end connections, we're going to allow you to connect your calendar into Onform. And I'm going to show you that here in a little bit. We've started with Acuity and Calendly because those are two of the most commonly used products that we found from our coaches. And then plan to add others like PGA Coach, many others over time. I'm going to also talk a little bit about threaded messages and saved replies. Threaded messages happens to be something that in the chat feed, instead of one giant long chat, let's say you post a message, instead of it being one long thread, you can actually reply specifically to a message and keep the context of that post in mind. So I'll demonstrate that in a little bit, and then at the end, we'll show you Multicam Max, the fixed camera solution that we're excited to get in the hands of folks out in the world. Later down the road here in later this year, we'll also be integrating the Garmin R50 as well as the Sensor Edge pressure mat and hopefully a few more. As always, we love your feedback. This is all the result of feedback that we get when speaking to coaches. So please hit us up at support@onform.com anytime with questions or suggestions on functionality. All right, let's go to the next slide here. What are we talking about? We're going to just briefly talk about it through some slides, and I'm going to share my screen and we're going to do it live. So club tracking. Going to be able to visualize the full swing. We have some AI that automatically finds the club head and will draw that swing path for you. You can even edit it because it's not always perfect, but we've given you the ability to edit it. And it's really slick for generating some really great visuals. Next thing is the kinematic sequence graphs. We've touched on this a bit, but the key here is that you'll be able to see the timing of the torso, the hip, and the club as it comes through impact. And you can see in the background of that screenshot, address, top, and impact is there. I'm going to show you that with some real swings. Next, 3D Pro reference ranges. Down at the bottom, you'll see some color codings. We're actually kind of playing around with how we want to do the color coding, so it's not finalized yet. But again, you'll be able to turn those on or off. You'll also be able to hide the 3D metrics entirely if you'd like, because not everybody wants to see that in their face. And then here's a great screenshot of it. We'll actually now surface the calendar from your Acuity calendar or Calendly directly in the app so you can see upcoming appointments. It makes it super easy to see exactly what you have planned for the day. This is all, hopefully, if things go well, easily to show live in just a minute. And lastly, the threaded messages you can see there, and you're used to threaded messages in other messaging apps. You can see there it says no practice today due to weather. And instead of having one big long thread, the replies are actually embedded sort of underneath that particular message, so you can keep the context of a message relevant. In other words, it won't get lost in a myriad of other questions and things you might have in the main chat thread. Okay, I think that is a good preview of what we have. And from here, unless somebody tells me otherwise, I am going to share my screen. Bear with me just a second. And what we're going to do first is start off and show you some of the calendar integration. And here I am in our test app. This is just a version of the app that we use in our beta testing and such. But you can see now the calendar appears as one of the main features on the home menu. So I can just tap the calendar. And it will bring the calendar up here. I can turn on the actual day by day. So I see little gold marks where there are meetings. And like you'd expect, I'm able to see who has booked an appointment and when, and I can scroll through those days anytime. And so this will happen. You'll simply connect your Calendly account or your Acuity account once. And then once you do that, every appointment that's booked will automatically surface itself right here in the calendar. We'll get a little fancier over time, be able to show you more and more information here. But as you'd expect, it's just nice to see what your day has to come up. And this is real time. Within a few seconds of somebody booking an appointment, this will actually surface directly in here. This is my live test calendar that we have, but look for this coming very soon. All right. I'm going to switch back over to our main app and let's talk about some of the functionality that we were just discussing. So, for example, I'm going to pull up this video here of a swing. We're going to generate 3D. And you'll notice I have a current layout setting to 3 panels. Just as a reminder, these 3 panels are controlled through the layout. I can go to one panel where I just have one big view of the swing. And of course, I can scrub that back and forth. I can then choose which view I want, the 3D view, the video, or the kinematic sequence now. I can also use the layout button to go to 2-panel mode so I can get a side by side and again choose what I want to see. Maybe I want to see 3D along with the video. And again, that is true 3D there. And then I can now switch it to kinematic sequence. Now, again, these are preview features that are not available yet in the live app. We're working hard to finish our testing and fine tune it. But you're going to love this. The kinematic sequence is zoomable. I can see exactly where in the swing we're looking at. We highlight address, top, and impact for you. And what you're looking at there, and it's very easy. I can also customize by clicking on the items down here what data I want to see. And so some of the information won't necessarily be in range. That's fine. And you'll be able to see some of those ranges as we click on the actual range itself. It'll surface what the range was set to. In addition to kinematic sequence and the video, if I click on the little magic button here, I'm going to now turn on club head trajectory. And this is also where I can turn on hand path or slide and sway. We plan to allow a bunch of other visualizations inside here over time, but this is where we're at now. And so I'm going to turn on club head trajectory. So now, as you can see, our AI just automatically follows that club path and gives you a really great visual for the actual video, which I can zoom in and of course I can use all of our drawing tools and do whatever I need to do as needed on the drawings. Of course, you can choose to turn that on or off as you see fit. Let's take a look at another video here. Let's pull up this one. Here we. By the way, thank you to Gina Umek for being our swing model. She unknowingly became our swing model when we were at the PGA show and were able to capture a few outdoor swings. So here again is another one, and you'll notice it remembered the setting. So I didn't have to go and choose the kinematic sequence this time and choose 3D. I can pull them up all as I see fit. So that is coming soon with kinematic sequence, the club path tracking, and the ability, if I tap onto the club path itself, I can load up the editor, and this is really cool. Sometimes the AI is not perfect, or sometimes it'll be in really difficult situations, but I can actually zoom in and change these little lines to follow the club head as I need. And I can do that on the backswing and the downswing. Here it found it quite well, but if we want, we can edit it and move it so that the dots are perfectly aligned on the club head. And when I'm done, I simply press done, and now it's edited that swing path just or club head path just a little bit so that it's even more accurate. Really powerful and easy way, great visualization. And yes, we will be working on that for the down the line view before you ask. But for now, we have it on face on. Okay, let's talk about the chat improvements. I'm going to jump back to our staging test app here. And inside chat, I'm going to search for my good friend Krishna, who is the genius behind everything you're seeing as it is. And so now when you go into chat, here we had a conversation about this video, and you can see the replies are here. And so I think I can pull this off. Krishna, are you listening? And I'm just going to post that as a thread. And Krishna, I believe, is online. And so now, instead of every single message popping up in this main chat, there he is. He actually just thumbs upped it, and he could even reply inside here. Oh, there's a reply. So I can see that reply by tapping on it. And now here is an entire thread of messages that all relate to that original Krishna, are you listening question. So that can be posted as a video. You might send out a drill, for example, and say, hey, I want you to work on this particular drill. And your student might have a question and say, did you really mean to hold my arm like this? And now all of that messages are relevant in context to that original video or message, etc. Exactly. So here he is, and I can reply in thread. I can also @mention. So if I type you can see it'll pull up everybody in this chat. So in this case, I can @mention him. Yes, do it like I said. Okay, I'm a tough coach. And again, all this messages are happening underneath the original one. And when I go back to the main thread, you can see there's 4 replies now, all to that particular chat. Just some other things that have been there for a little bit, but I want to call out. There's also scheduled messages where I can schedule any message. And by the way, if I long press here, this is how I reply in thread. I can also pin a message so that it actually will stay pinned or up at the top. And those are all gathered here under this pinning. Okay, so this is great where maybe you have a new student and you wanna add a link to your club's website for an event. You can pin that particular chat in the chat thread, and they'll see that as a little notice in here. Okay, so that's scheduled messages, pinned messages, and soon coming very soon, threaded messages that are all going to be big improvements to the chat experience just inside of Onform. I'm going to check in with the team here and just see. I think those are the main bits I've covered off on. And I am now going to dive straight into, I just unshared. We are going to do the really fun stuff. And as I mentioned at the outset here, let's go back into the main app. I'm going to share or dive into the camera here. Oh, there we go. And what you're looking at now is a live feed from cameras here at the Vintage Club in Palm Springs. It's a little hard to show you, but what I wanted to actually do is turn this off and notice it says connected to Bay 2 at Vintage. I'm going to quickly disconnect. I'm going to turn on the camera of the iPad just to show you the lay of the land here. Oh, except I'm on Zoom, which it doesn't like that. So another reason to use the fixed camera. So let's jump back in, go to Multicam, connect to Bay 2. So I wanted to show you the video, but what we are doing, we have fixed cameras in the normal position mounted on the face-on location and in the down the line. And I happen to have Adam, my willing subject, to take a swing for us. Adam, ready? Welcome to the webinar. And he's going to go in and take a swing. So this is something that you guys have all done 1,000 times, right? You have a studio, you have fixed cameras. Notice I have designated a face on and down the line view, but the difference is that I can do this all from the iPad now and do it wirelessly. So if I wasn't on this webinar, I'd be able to actually walk around, use the iPad just like I normally would as if I was recording from the iPad camera itself. And it would allow me the freedom to record here in the bay with the fixed cameras. This pops on, or walk outside on the green grass. But here we are with the live view. Adam, go ahead and take a swing for me. I press the record button. Yep, let her rip. And I'm going to hit stop. And in just a couple seconds, there's that swing. And this is actually captured at 360 FPS. And you can see we've got a great video right there. Now, I can set all those parameters and settings on, there's a Windows machine that is actually connected to the fixed cameras. And you can see the Windows machine allows me to configure the actual parameters I set, like shutter speed, the exposure, depending on the sunlight, etc. We're here in the bay with a really bright background, but I'm still able to get really good clarity here on the actual swing. So this is coming through at 360 FPS at the moment at full 1280 by 720. I could turn up the shutter speed and capture it even better, which I'm actually going to attempt to do. Adam, you thought you were done with only one single swing. And if I can pull this all off while I'm trying to drive everything, I'm going to turn the shutter speed down of these two cameras quite a bit. And so check this out. All right, here we go. So that one was captured. So let's go try another swing here. So I just turned up the shutter speed. He's going to grab another ball. And again, I'm running this from my iPad. Never been able to connect an iPad to the fixed cameras in the bay. All right, Adam, go ahead and swing. Beautiful. And only 2 seconds later here, now that I've dialed up the shutter speed, we're getting even better video there. And I can even turn this all the way to 360 FPS, which why not do this live and configure everything as we go. And I'm going to dial the shutter speed down even faster. So let's go one more here. So notice it's a little bit more zoomed in because at 360 FPS, we are at a full 720 HD, so 1280 by 720. All right, Adam, ready? Take a swing. Beautiful. And did you notice the background? It's just amazing. You can see how fast this is, and that is a 360 FPS recording from the fixed cameras right here in the bay. And what's great is I'd be able to, of course, get my full 3D from all those videos. I can get kinematic sequence, etc. And in addition, they all just store in my Onform library just like normal, right? So I could go outside, disconnect from the bay, and you can see here when I reopen the camera, it automatically reconnects. I can, if I wanted, my next lesson was in bay 1, I would connect to bay 1, and it would just automatically pull the video feeds from bay 1. So again, I can disconnect from those cameras. And again, if I wasn't on Zoom, use my iPhone or my iPad camera just as normal. Reconnect, and it's just that fast. So the goal here with Multicam Max was in a multi-coach, multi-bay facility. We wanted you to be able to walk in with your iPad wirelessly and say, with one tap, connect to bay one. Teach your lesson as if it was, like you normally would. And if your next lesson's in bay two, you walk over to bay two and tap connect to bay two, and it pulls the feed straight from those fixed cameras again. And by the way, when you install our Multicam Max system in each bay, it's shareable among all the coaches. So no matter how many coaches you have at your academy, they simply need an Onform account. It's shared amongst the organization. So in this case, Jeff Smith, one of the great coaches here, will be able to use the same setup as Adam as he's teaching, and you simply will connect to the bay that you're using for that particular lesson. There are some customizations in here, like designating the down the line view. I can even rotate these as needed because I might want a landscape setup versus a portrait setup like I have here. It just depends on the particular setup in your studio, and it's very flexible. But we can even use auto detect and one tap, etc., with the fixed camera feeds. And so light switch easy, multi-bay, multi-coach capability. And our Multicam Max functionality is an add-on for a $499 a year charge per bay. You'll need that in addition to your base Onform subscription, but we've tried to keep it very affordable so that your entire academy will get the benefit of using the fixed cameras. Okay, on to our last thing here. I'm going to stop sharing and let our team share the last slide while we've got everybody here on the webinar. Thank you very much. Appreciate your help. Sarah, if you can pull up the last pricing slide here. All right, we have been talking about this for a while, and you've noticed if you used the 3D feature inside the app, we've been saying 3D is free for a limited time. Well, that time is coming to an end, and we're targeting early March. We will be releasing a 3-tiered coach product. We're actually going to come out with a cheaper version that we call Coach Basic. It's essentially going to be limited to 20 students and 2,000 videos. Our current Coach Standard or Coach product, which today is $29, will become $39. We made it 40, but it's $39.99, whole penny less than what we're showing, with discounts for quarterly subscriptions or yearly. Now, we've been around now for 6 years. We've never changed our pricing. Everybody knows what inflation has done, as well as pricing for virtually everything else. So this is going to be our existing unlimited student, unlimited video, Coach Standard package will become $39 a month or $399 a year. And you'll still get all the same functionality short of 3D and some fancier sides of things like 4-angle multicam mobile capability. This is a little bit of a typo here, but this is actually Coach Pro on the far right. And Coach Pro will be everything under the kitchen sink that we have, right? So full 3D capability, unlimited activity feeds, multicam mobile up to 4 angles. Same with Multicam Max. It'll support 4 cameras in Multicam Max. All features and everything under the sun, and that'll be at $59 a month or $599 a year. 2 other things. If you are an existing paid Onform subscriber, Coach subscriber, you'll be able to upgrade to our Coach Pro for $49 a month or $499 a year. And if you are a PGA member, we will still honor the 10% discount that we provide all PGA members on top of that. So we're trying to be very fair and give you a ton of heads up here for what we do. For full 3D, for all of the functionality that we provide, we feel like we're still a very fair, very reasonable price compared to the competition. And for those that don't need 3D, you can stick to your current account. And oh, by the way, if you're a current paid subscriber, we're not going to change the pricing for another year. So as long as you're a paid subscriber and you're paying $29 a month, we won't actually change your subscription for a whole nother year. So that will be March of 2027. And if you subscribe again before March of 2027, you'll effectively get 2 years at the current pricing. So we're, again, trying to be very fair in how we roll out our first ever price increase, if you will, by rolling out these three tiers, providing you a cheaper option for, we get messages from people who are retired or they're coaching their friends or family, or they just have a few clients a week. Great. There's a $20 a month option now. And if you want everything under the sun with 3D and everything else, that's our $59 Coach Pro version on the right side. And oh, by the way, again, if you pay quarterly, you'll get a 10% discount and a 17% for the year. And the PGA discount is 10% on top of that. All right. I've been talking a ton. I'm going to jump in here. I think, the big question in terms of when is all this going to happen? It's going to happen as soon as we are happy with the finished testing, et cetera. We think, definitely within the next month or so, and we should have it available. We're going to start with the kinematic sequence in golf. But of course, we do intend to bring that to other sports. We're trying to polish out our 3D functionality for golf and make sure we get that totally dialed. And we will, of course, expand it out to other sports over time. How difficult is it to set up the live fixed cameras? Well, I wish I could show you a little bit more here, but basically there's a Windows app that we have released, and you simply install that on the Windows app that runs your camera system, and it rebroadcasts the video stream from the fixed cameras out to the iPad. And that's it. It's really slick. We'll be providing full hardware bundles for studios. We work with FLIR cameras. We work with OptiTrack, really high-end cameras. That's what you were seeing here. They go all the way to 360 FPS at full 720p resolution. And you can bring your own equipment. If you have a fast enough computer because you already have a studio, maybe with FLIR cameras or the IDS cameras will also be allowing eventually, you won't need to buy hardware. You'll simply be able to subscribe to the Camera Connector app. That's the $4.99 per bay piece of software, and that will be everything you need. And you can use your existing equipment and simply upgrade to using your Onform iPad for taking the video feeds. Again, I was showing 2 camera feeds today. It'll work with up to 4 camera feeds. Let's see other questions. Does this include overseas PGA members? We've been pretty lenient, but the reason we're able to allow that discount is the PGA of America, which with whom we have forged a great relationship with, gives us the ability to access their members. And if there are other countries and other PGA organizations that would be willing to work with us, we're certainly willing to work with them. Please get a hold of me and send us an email. Send me an email, Gear, at onform.com, and we'd love to arrange other relationships like that and make it available for everyone. In academies, is the coach price per instructor, or is there a multi-coach version like we use now? Yes, there will be a multi-coach version. So for everybody that doesn't know, our current app is priced per coach, but when you get 3 or more coaches together, like in an academy, and you pay on the same invoice, we provide some bulk discounts, and we will have great bulk discounts for all 3 levels of the coaching packages. Feel free to contact us again, and we will provide you a custom quote for your facility. And you'll be able to mix, if some people want pro and some people only need standard, you'll be able to mix those in an academy as well. How easy is it to switch fixed camera for righty or lefty? That's a great question. Because we can have up to 4 cameras, you never have to switch. You would install a face-on lefty, face-on righty, and then the down-the-line camera. And then if you remember, that layout button allows you to either visualize 1, 2, or 3 panels all at the same time. So you might only want to ever show 2 panels, but you can choose to only show, camera 2 and camera 3, if you will. So it's totally configurable for lefties and righties, and you don't have to do a single thing. You can just use the interface layout controls as needed. The kinematic sequence data, is it sourced from a compatible pressure plate? Yeah, great question. It is sourced right now from our computer vision AI model, and we are continuing to test it against existing sources. And we will be providing more details as we always do and try to be very transparent about what we have tested and will produce. Same with our reference ranges. We'll be providing a table of reference ranges for you all to see. And again, if you haven't seen, we're the only company, to my knowledge, that has produced what's called a model card, which demonstrates and shows our accuracy and applicability standards for our 3D computer vision model. And you can find that on our support site. If you just Google or if you just search for model card or 3D, you'll find it, and it outlines in detail all the things that we capture, all the accuracy numbers that we have against AMM systems, against markered motion capture systems, and we'll continue to be very transparent about what we've done. Um, and we are coming up on, let's see, a good 35 minutes into the webinar. I have been blazing through some of this functionality. I hope it has been useful to give you a little preview of what's coming. Our entire team is working incredibly hard to get this all buttoned up and start releasing these pieces to you. If you have interest in Multicam Max, reach out through our support site and just say you're interested. We'll be happy to talk to you more on quotes. We are installing Multicam Max on a half a dozen studios like here at the Vintage Club in testing mode right now. Our full production, fully commercial ready should be within about a month or so. But we're feeling great about it and look forward to officially making that a product on the website. And you'll see it also along with those pricing changes here in the next few weeks. With that, I hope everybody was able to get something from the webinar today. You know where to find us. We genuinely appreciate your support. And if there's any questions or anything that we can do, please reach out anytime. I'll sign off for now, let you get back to your day, but thanks so much for watching. We appreciate your time and appreciate your support as we continue to make Onform the best, video coaching platform on the planet. Have a great day and wish you all the best.